Good morning, everybody. Okay, I'm just going to jump to the point of what's going on today. We promised everybody a 24-hour documentary of Elliot Eastman, the missing abducted American who disappeared over 30 days ago. So, what it is there are 14 live streams that me and George have gone through. We've taken clips, we've gone through the accounting of a entire 24 hours. Of course, it's broke down, all right? And then we will also be reading an article that came in. So, we're dealing with the numbers of 14 live streams in the last day of his life. They're actually in the 24-hour period, all right? It's amassed over 30,000 views and it has doubled his actual subscribers. All right. And he has been the talk on a lot of expats, like conversation lists and everything. So we will cover this. And then afterwards, we will be going through comments. The chat room, of course, is open and live, and be respectable in it today. Also, we might, depending on the time frame, open up the panel to let people on that are members and regulars to come in and talk about it. So I'm going to read an article, bits and pieces of it, about Elliot and what they feel. Okay, remember, what we discuss in this live stream is just that. We follow a lot of newspaper clippings, articles, speaking to people. Okay, and it doesn't necessarily reflect our total views when we're reading it from a newspaper or discussing what other people are discussing. Okay. As we've always said, we're neutral. So in other words, we're not like against Elliot's family. We're not against Elliot. We're not against the other family. We're going to I'm an equal opportunity offender, and I'm going to talk smack about everybody and not smack about everybody. And so you guys know me by now.
Right. And for the most part, again, remember, we're just, giving you the story. Like, for instance, again, some people say, oh, you said this. No, that's not what we said. That's what the article said.
Yes. And so, so let's get into it. All right. So the article that we have here is from a paper. And they call this whole situation a love triangle. Some people tried to say it's what the NPA or some of those Abu Sayyaf.
NPA is
National Police.
No.
Oh, so it's some. Okay.
PNP is Philippine National Police, and NPA, New People's Army. That's somewhat more north. South is more the MILF and but they're involved though.
All right.
In a good way.
But it's been blamed on those factions of abduction for ransom. It's been blamed that the family had something to do with it. It's been blamed that he just took off and went home. That's still not out of the question, okay? And so there's an article here where Rappler believes and goes through where they feel that it's actually dealing with her ex or his ex, but they're more referring to her ex because they've been together. The wife and Elliot have been together for almost a year and a half. And that's been reconfirmed over and over again. They had a Muslim ceremony. He converted to Islam. And they've been together on and off since. In other words, he left the country, I think, at least twice. It could be more. But he came back recently, according to newspapers and sources, around July for her birthday and graduation of high school. Okay. Remember, there's only 2 years of high school, and specifically in the 6 accounts that have been found on Facebook, she states this herself when she was in high school. Okay. So that's not us. This is just what's out there. Also, the accounting of Elliot's mother and grandparents have been all over the other family's account. Although they're not speaking on their account, they keep going in on the sister's account, which is the only one currently seem to be speaking, except for the wife who appeared on GMA. And we had that story. It's also available if you guys want that. But she did finally speak. A lot of people were shocked, but the sister keeps making posts on her Facebook all the time. So then Elliot's family comes in and you get all these prayers situation. We've heard any everything from he's made it back home, that he's here somewhere and just recovering, to receiving photos, multiple photos from different locations stating that he is no longer with us. There has been no proof. There has been no proof of life. There has been no request for ransom. So it says here, Elliot Eastman, the 26-year-old American content creator who was abducted in Zamboanga del Norte, came to the Philippines with a heart full of conflict. His life has been a whirlwind of emotions, passion, and ultimately peril. Drawn to the woman he loved, yet aware of the dangers that lurked, Elliot found himself entangled in a life far more complicated than he had anticipated. His story took a harrowing turn on Thursday, October the 17th, when he was abducted by armed men in the remote coastal town of Zamboanga. Eastman, who hails from Vermont, the United States, has been documenting his life through vlogs, and a lot of them, by the way. I think he has over almost 600 videos at this point, 540 videos, which he has been candidly, and I don't call it candidly, I'm talking about it's almost like a cam in his house. He was always carrying around, whether he was sleeping, and he just really recorded anything, guys. His video reveals the strained family ties with his father and a strong bond with his grandmother. He did mention it a few times. I don't know that he sat around and talked about it, because in this last 14 videos, he was fondly talking about his dad again. So, and I thought I seen him when he was in Vermont, which he's a delivery driver. I think he works for 3 of them. He has mentioned all 3 of them, and he says he makes good money and he likes the freedom, by the way. So I get that. He likes being an independent contractor and not under the thumb of the man. It's like being under the thumb of George here. His time in the Philippines had not been without heartbreak. A failed romance in Zamboanga City left him shaken and crushed. He was scammed, according to the former mayor in an earlier interview. Now, we mentioned this early on. Again, we've been covering this and really digging for additional information. And it was said by him, and he had done a Facebook, like one-on-one with each other, with him and his wife, where they sat down and they talked. And she tried to get him to open up. She's like, oh, why don't you say what you got to say about this? But he totally went quiet, guys. He totally went quiet. And he won't talk about it. So he met somebody on Facebook. It must have been about a year and a half ago, a couple months maybe prior to that, and something went south. And while he was here, he locked eyes and met with his wife. I believe her name's Carisha. And that's how it went from there. After that, he has come back and they married. And we've shown you, we found their video that they put on public display, okay, through their social media, and where they actually had a home ceremony. That I don't have any confirmation, nor have I seen any confirmation that it's all been registered with the, like through the state government and everything else. Islamic weddings are totally different, and we understand. Okay, so let's see what is going on. So we're going to go ahead and play this footage that we actually have. All right. He actually went through and he talked about the dangers and the danger zone of living in the Philippines. I'm going to say no less than 8 times, maybe even a dozen times during the last 2 weeks of his footages, he kept saying, somebody's going to come and get me. And the footage that we have, including in this documentary that me and George have worked really hard on, at that point, he will state this: somebody's going to come in up through that hole in the middle of the night and take me. So I wish they would.
Sorry, I chuckled because it was.
We picture it was at the moment. We understand that it's serious, but you guys know how we actually are. Just a week before his abduction on October 10th, Eastman posted a video which he expresses that he is happy. So he did express on and off during the 24-hour period that he was happy. And also he was making plans. And you also see that in the footage. Again, this is a 30-minute documentary. Stay with us. Make your comments and everything else. and that he spoke of simple pleasures, but also understand that if you sat through all of his videos, like we did a lot of them, guys, he really was ragging on the Philippines. He was complaining. He was arguing about family members. To me, he just sounds like life. He sounds like real people and good people to me. Now, it's been stated that Elliot seems to be off. There's something, I don't know. For me, I feel like he's autistic. I could be way off. Also, we discovered, and a lot of people are like, oh, we knew he was military. No, he has mentioned it slightly that he was military, but we didn't go through all 500 videos. But eventually we found a couple news articles, and you really have to look for him, where it says he is ex-Marine, okay? According to sources, he also didn't complete basic training. I could be wrong on this one, but that's what is out there. All right, so let's go ahead and get into this article and go ahead and play this, guys.
You can say this live or live, but live is different than live. Live means live means you're living here, but life is like your life. It's right there. This one? Can I come back? Why? I'm throwing in arguments with people here, so question is, I quit I got to go home. Because I'm not, just like with the situation here, I'm not getting along with people here. I'm gonna have arguments with people here too. So like I'm kind of in a similar situation as you, I know. Maybe I'm gonna. Whenever I feel like that, like I'm getting arguments with people, like I like to just separate myself from them. And however I can, like you gotta find a way to separate yourself. Just like I gotta figure out a way to separate myself, and that might be me going home or making a change. You know, it's gonna be gonna have to make a change somehow because you have to separate yourself from the people that make you upset and just you have to be able to move around, and that's what I liked about doing the food. But like I said, literally, I'm in the same situation. I'm having arguments with people around here, kind of, and or I gotta figure out what I'm gonna do with myself. Yeah. I don't know what to really do. Maybe the best. I don't know. Yeah, I feel like I'm living around people that don't like their attitude, but I don't want to be around those people, you know? I just want to separate myself from any individual that I do not like. So I'm like in the same predicament right now, honestly. I'm like in the same predicament. Um, for me, the most important thing is like the people I'm living around and everything like that. So even me, I'm trying to figure out what to do. Flies passing around. Like cancer. What up, mommy? Oh, what's up, baby?
Wala ako. Wala ako. Pa. Wah.
Stick. Like I want to know that. That's right. Perfect. Oh, good. So to make Let's go look at the fish. Fish. Go see the fish that they caught. No. Just got a couple. What's that? A whole bunch of them. Sure, hindi naman kaya naman ito makatu. It was, because I didn't really know, but I assumed from your jokes he was in one direction, a singer, so I was right. I'm in the Philippines right now, so if I'm eating this for right now. How about you, bro? Where are you in? You're in the U.S.? It's not just all your day in your life here. It's gonna solve a lot. But he just yeah. I mean, even me, I'm afraid too. Okay, don't put words in my mouth. Even me, I'm afraid too. I'm just trying to be safe. Like, if I were to go with him, it would have to be like a total like nobody really knows about it. Kind of like totally like secret kind of deal. Like even nobody's knowing. Everybody gonna see. Everybody gonna is there. Yeah, that's it. They cannot hide the eyes of the people. Yeah, it's like I don't know. It's just like I want to do that. Like that sounds fun and like really cool. Like he's going to catch like small fish with a big net. I'm sure he's already going with somebody else, right? I imagine somebody else is already going to go. But it would be cool to go see that and like take a video of it. I'm gonna reach 2K, bro. Like, if I stay on the same track, I'm gonna be at 2K. So, like being scared here. Dangerous. Gee, come on. That's what our day's been like today. The guy we lent money to, he returned our money. We lent him 21,400, and he came back with 23,500. Some little extra. We sent him back with 35K. Yeah. Should be seeing a little bit extra profit off of this. Maybe in 1 month we'll have already 3,500 profits. Business. I think the guy had a gun. Some sort. There's like so many of them. There's like 4 of them. 4 people there. As long as I'm here, my life is still at risk, Still at risk. That's the reality. My life's at risk a little bit here. Especially the area that I'm in. It's not even just the Philippines. It's like this area that I'm in is like the most dangerous area. One of the most dangerous areas in the Philippines, So it's literally like the red zone area. So yeah, of course I'm scared. Of course I've been afraid. There's nights that I'm afraid. There's times I'm afraid. There's times that I'm not afraid. There's times that I don't sleep well, but it's gotten better, In the past, I've had a hard time sleeping. Sometimes in that time, I just didn't sleep. My dad has to like on the pipe and simple, so that's why I'm there. So I want to get physical. Get this ball. Especially the way she's abusing her child. I feel like I just want to like do the same thing. No, if they ask you for something, don't go there, okay? Don't go with them. If they're asking you for where is this water jug, say I don't know. Figure it the fuck out. And first, by the way, fix their store that you open up. You need to tell them like that. Don't just go walk with them, okay? Don't just like follow them like a little minion. Say I don't know, figure it out. That's not me, okay? You need to be stern with those people. Otherwise, they're gonna use you. They're gonna take advantage of you. You need to tell them. I have no idea about where the freak is our roof for our store, so it's not getting robbed. You need to be straight up. Don't go walk around with them and look around. Okay, do you understand? Because that's not good. And it makes me like, I don't like when you like follow them. Where you go kind of hell and have books and stuff. It's not your fault that they don't know where the freaking blue water jug is. Oh, it's like a lot of the last night. I didn't bring any water in our room. You mean the picture? Which one? Like the bigger one? The one that's in our room? Did you give it? Did you give it to us? Why did it look at that? From where? I thought they were talking about a blue one. You need to like press your sister because it wasn't my choice though to swallow. we wouldn't be having these kind of issues. It's all, you know, it's not our fault. It's just gonna open up the ball, half fixed it, left the hole open, and now she's not even using her honey store. She's not even like opening it up. You know, that's like just destroying stuff. She came down from the cook and we're doing our own thing here, and then just trying to she's just like getting into our stuff, putting her shit in front of our Wi-Fi, taking half of our stores, and then leaving half of our shit open. Like she's making a mess every place that she steps. And it's pissing me off. Okay? She's making me pissed. Especially the way that she treats her child. It's like you're gonna have another child and you're treating your child like that. You're gonna pop out another baby. That's how you're treating your children. That's a nightmare. Yeah, but this is our problem. She's starting to become my problem because our store is available now. You know what? Should be we're working on she's working on fixing this right now. Should be what she's doing right now. You know? So things just got robbed last night. I don't know they came in from here. It's dangerous for me too. Obviously you guys are worried about me being kidnapped, right? Worried about me going 10 meters down the beach. How about the hole in our house that they can climb through? That should be something we're worried about. Come on. Let's think about it a little bit. You know? You ever think about that? You never know somebody is gonna do that. Exactly. That's my point. And we need to impress her because she's the one who's not going to do stuff. Because she's not doing a good job. She's leaving a house wide open. You guys are worried about my safety, right? Why are you thinking the most dangerous part of my life is at the nighttime? Right? Inside this house is when I'm most scared. And then you're going to leave our house wide open so somebody can crawl in, especially knowing we have groceries. Exactly, that's my point. That's my point. The big deal there is my life, and now we have a big hole in our house. And that's okay. You guys are worried about me going 10 meters down the beach during the day. I mean, it's not a big deal. That's not even dangerous at all. I'm not worried about that. You guys are like worrying for no reason, 100%. But it's not a big deal if there's like a huge gap in our house that somebody can crawl through in the middle of the night. Okay, that doesn't make sense. What else do? I'm not about to freak out at your sister. I literally feel like I'm gonna freak out at your sister. You just think about it. Even when we want to close the store at night. This one. So how about there? You still have to worry about somebody taking your stuff, and we're not counting our stuff. So even somebody takes something, we don't know. Just like this, our soy sauce. So how much is? Oh, really? But anyways, it's like even you have it covered there on that door, so somebody can still come in. Yeah. Oh yeah. So what do you want to do? You want to tell father? Ask father for help because this is my money. So it's our money. Can you finish the breakfast? Yes. Thank you. You know. Okay, deal. I mean, I can understand why. Like, this is your sister's thing. should be dealing with this. Like, I'm not gonna. I don't want to like wait another night because we don't know if something's gonna come in here. You know, it's like difficult. Especially we're gonna need to put something here on this door, like that for temporary.
Apply one
Yeah.
for there and for here.
Maybe your sister can.
Maybe it's like so much water there
Where?
at the buying.
Yeah, that's the problem. So it's like now I can't sleep at night because of what your sister's done. Yeah, she's opened up the walls. I can't sleep. She came down from the mountain, and now she's destroying all of our stuff. With the roof, everything's wrong with the roof, bro. Everything is wrong. You can actually possibly imagine. Don't even know. I'm gonna ask you. Fucking nightmare. And that one guy said, "What's wrong with the roof?" I said, "Everything." It's a fucking nightmare. That's true. I'm not even gonna lie. Like, this place is an absolute nightmare. Even I fixed the roof here because of freaking all our solar charge controller, inverter, battery. It's all getting wet. I fixed the roof, right? I paid money to fix the roof, put in new metal and everything, and it's still the same. Still dripping. Water's dripping in. Like, that's why I call it a nightmare, because I don't even know what the hell is wrong. And then we got a hole here for if anybody wants to crawl in anytime at night and take some groceries. Like, feel free. I don't really know, dude. It's a family that's just scared to like. They want to keep me in like a little box so that they keep me as safe as possible, and then by doing that, they feel like they're keeping themselves safe as possible. I feel like I've been saying this area for so long to the point where before, I don't even know if people have been maybe they want bad things to happen to me now. It's like that's how I'm starting to think, so it's like, it's really not good. I don't know. Sometimes it's hard for me, like, living with my out there, too. Back in the U.S., like, no matter what I do, no matter how nice I be or anything, like, it's hard. It's just hard for me to live with it. I don't know what. I did my affairs with in the U.S. and stuff like that, but not really much, like, Philippines or anything like that. And if it comes to the point where it's like, all of a sudden I'm kidnapped and something's gonna happen to me. So like living with my grandparents who are just absolutely so nice all the time. Like, yeah, people are really shoved up a little bit. The right way to do it is probably to be like, you can do that. You just become a Muslim, and then it's okay. You can marry anyone. It's like part of the culture. You can marry up to like 7 or Muslim. The other thing I would say is people's attitude. Hard to deal with us. Monkey Lord.
No, I don't know if I'm pregnant or no. They said I'm pregnant. No, I don't wanna go just only you and me. I don't wanna go just only you and me. I'm afraid. I'm afraid if we don't have somebody with us.
I don't really know, because everybody's telling me right now there's people out there planning to come get me, bro. No, that's true though. People, there's people coming here to tell my family that there's people that want to kidnap me or they're threatening to kidnap me or stuff like that. Like every day. Every day this is happening. This is like a real life thing for me. And that's why no foreigners or no any there's no tourists staying here because they're smarter than that. But for me, I've been living here. I've been taking.
Been working on this for a while. Both me and George, for 2 days, we've been watching his videos, and we're parents and grandparents, and this is very hard. No matter what we've been talking about, especially when I watch the end, it's very emotional for me. And there's so much to be said about this disappearance. It is strange. 12 times he has announced somebody's going to come and get him. They're going to come and get me in the night. And also me and George was discussing that him and his wife, the same night before he went to bed, discussed a fishing trip on a boat. But he was afraid and he had to be secret about it.
Yeah, he was afraid to give details. It was kind of odd.
Also, what you guys didn't see is she took the pillow from him early on, and he asked her, "Are you sleeping here tonight?" She said no. And actually, that was her statement to him. I don't know why. It's in the videos, okay? So you guys can go watch
these are not something we came up with. They're in the videos we just showed you.
Well, yeah, you have to watch the entire video. But I chose to leave it out because I didn't want to show them weirdly both in the same area because she was there and she took the pillow from him. There is so much mystery to even to the point where she appeared on GMA. How long has that been? A week? 10 days ago? When she appeared on GMA, she gave some more information, but I don't know. It's the family that told the story. It was the first aerial view that was given of where they live on the beach. I didn't know there was a crap load of houses all there. So still, the whole conversation goes, who's seen it? What do they know? What are they not saying? What really happened to Elliot Eastman? Okay. And he knew he was in danger when he returned several times. The family knew he was in danger. He really wasn't allowed to go anywhere. He was told not to go anywhere. So we were kind of joking about almost the entire live streams, all 14 of them that day. He's constantly eating. He's like,
that's what he does. So
yeah, he was eating up his own stock at this point.
Like I said, nothing against Eastman or anything. Most of his lives are him just doing nothing and eating. No, really.
Well, he was trying to get the channel going, and I can respect that.
No, I get that. But what I'm saying is that's what his channel is about. Standing around and moshing, which again, there's nothing wrong with it. But for those of you who want to watch his channel, that's fine. But we're just letting you know that's what you'll mostly see. It's just him standing there eating.
What's your problem, Bad Habit? Saying this has some BS in it. How? This is from his live streams in the last 24 hours.
Everything we're saying is factual right now because, again, we're just stating facts and stating what's on his videos.
Yeah.
If you want to watch his videos, fine. You're
very thorough on this, including when we covered the Cebu club shooting. We had people talking to us, and we are still getting information. We just refuse to put out the extra crap that's out there. This comes from him. What are you talking about? Did you not watch the entire thing? Did you sit
No, I
through
was already
hundreds of
no
his
no
videos?
no.
The
But
odds are no.
I'm gonna tell you
We're
guys right
probably the
now.
only ones that
Again,
have
with
went
all due
through.
respect to Eastman, nobody's gonna sit and watch this through his videos because it's really awkward.
Well,
Just saying.
and time consuming, but we're always going to have somebody, unless I'm missing something.
Yeah. And well, what I'm saying awkward is he doesn't look at the camera most of the time. He usually just has this weird
Well,
shot.
he's just running a live. It's not the first lives
Right.
that we've seen where like
And
Filipinas walk around and
it's-
clean their house. He's just running. Basically, it's what we said. We ought to run a 24-hour camera of us in this house just walking
The
around.
difference is the camera's right by him, so all you see is really him and the roof.
Yeah, a lot of the
of the house.
angles was
No, really.
him. Yeah,
That was most of the view angles. Correct. Is his top naked body in the roof of the house. That's what you mostly see. I mean, again, nothing wrong with that. It's just that's the lives. But
yeah. So we're going to go through the comments. We are going to answer things that are pertaining to what's going on, being there's a lot of comments now. And if the members are in here or are regulars, of course, we address them and everything. So, but
yeah, and thank you so much.
thank you, Ted.
Thank you, Ted, again for your help and support. And Life of Zamboanga, thank you for gifting a membership to one of our viewers.
Yes, guys.
And I believe it.
We do have a bunch of additional videos and like photos and
I haven't seen a video.
You better move on. Just because I'm feeling emotional right now doesn't mean I won't slap you right upside your head. You'll be going fishing.
Oh, did you say she did?
In this town, I can pay somebody to slap you cheaper.
Oh, snap.
Pay their bail, get them out, and everything else cheaper than doing it myself.
Take me away on our Jeep.
Will you move on before I forget that?
Hey, Ted, how you doing? Gone but not forgotten, hopefully. Ted Dengan says, hello, beautiful people.
AMB.
Hello, Philippine Antics Squad. Good morning, Cindy. Hi, Cindy from Dumaguete. How you doing?
Good morning.
Life Zamboanga. Good morning, all. Good morning, Life Zamboanga. Anton says,
no, gone just means gone, dude. If you still in here, Anton, we said gone. He's no longer at his house. Nobody can find him. He's gone.
Well, you guys said he was alive. Okay, now LG says, what does that mean, gone? You mean now? Okay, it doesn't mean someone's gone. Doesn't mean they're gone. You know.
Yeah, and in that last one, we're not the one that's going around. Only once did I say in the last 30 days that he was, and I'm telling you what, I'll still tell you right now, I'm not even convinced that still wasn't him in that water. There's a lot of people that think that was him.
Let's go into American pop culture. You think when they said "gone girl," the girl is dead? No,
exactly. No, she was just gone.
She's just gone.
And we don't know that. He could be sitting back in Vermont roasting marshmallows and drinking one of his Grammys smoothies. He could be, again.
And this part is speculation. The fact that he said that a fishing boat's coming and he wants to go on the fishing boat and not going to give any details, it's kind of fishy.
Well, he actually said
that
he couldn't, and that his safety was in danger. And it's funny that only the family said that. The story. They're the ones that told.
They said it on the video. Go watch.
And that was their story. Yeah. He was taken away in a boat after. There's so much going on. There's so much speculation, so much talk, so many different things in the paper, so many people that have been unalive to the situation of a battle. What was that? 10 days ago, 7-8 days ago, and people that have been arrested, and 30 days they haven't found him. 30 days, no ransom. 30 days, nothing. I mean, it's like just nothing. And here's the thing. Yes, one newspaper, we didn't say it. We said that they said that he was alive. Okay. There was one newspaper, news station that recently said their inside reliable sources said that Elliot has been seen but not rescued. I don't understand how you could see him and not rescue him, but they did. So that's what we reported. Now, there was one, oh man, I'm going to choose these words carefully besides oddball, person out there that says that they're sure that he's gone. One person that lives in that area, that's fine. Okay. And there's a lot of he is, he isn't. And here's the thing. The family keeps posting on Facebook all the time. And recently, in the last couple days, and in the last 48 hours, there's been more messages, which have been since deleted. Okay. Where we went in and asked, hey, how's the, what's going on? And a bunch of people said, hey, what's going on? And Eastman's family came in and also made statements. And, and all of a sudden, all these messages disappeared today when we mentioned the documentary and mentioned, somebody tried to come in and say something to us that it was none of our business, that it was a private matter. And I was like, what do you mean private? His wife went on GMA to the biggest meritess in the country.
Well, private. I mean, it's international now.
It's beyond that.
It's gone international.
And if it's so private, why is the family not calling family and posting everything on Facebook? Don't say it's the Philippines and that's how they talk. No, it's his family too. So it dried up over there in Vermont. It's dried up everywhere else. We've been pushing the information for him to be found and to see what's going on. And it's a hot story and we're going to cover it. But then that got deleted today. Not all that, but us saying, hey, how's he doing? What's the update? Because another Lone Ranger also posted he's gone. And so you get only 2 or 3 Meritesses, male or female, Filipino or not, that actually state that he's gone. Then you get a newspaper. Who knows? Where's the proof? Now, me and George have a different opinion on whether he is or not. And I don't think we've swayed too far from that he's no longer around, in our opinion. After all of this and no whatever, no proof of life, none of that it's a good chance that he's not. And that seems to be the consensus. But recent photos and the information we've been given would suggest that he's not. But if he's not, and it happened 9 days ago, why did his family, as of a couple hours ago, in the last 12 hours, once again, state, what type of updates are there? Why would Eastman's family say that again? We covered the last live stream and that almost every time you're seeing constant posts from his family, talking to her family through Facebook, through the comment sections, not through Messenger, not a phone call, which could be free through different, through different ways. So it's kind of weird that if he was 9 days ago, or as this one oddball person said, even a couple days ago, wouldn't Eastman's family stop asking the other family for updates or how he is? Or
if they actually know, and also be aware that regardless,
you'd be grieving, you'd be in real shock. It's one thing to hear and think that it's happened. Once it hits, they wouldn't be sitting up on Facebook like, hey, what's going on? And also through Facebook on her side, on the mother's, there are people going in there and saying prayers for you, but that doesn't mean he's gone. I mean, that doesn't indicate that either. So again, I always go back to that little tuna can that went to the bottom of the ocean situation, Ocean Gate, World Gate, Ocean World Gate, and the whole world was interesting into what was going on. It's the same thing here. There's so many different angles, and it makes you ask a million times, why? Why would he keep returning? Why, if he knew all this stuff was going south and he didn't like the way the Sorry store was built and the way the internet was, and he was a loan shark out there, which was a bad problem, and he converted to Islam and all the issues that he was really going through. I don't get it. I mean, we knew he came back for her graduation. We knew, I just don't get it. But several times in that day, he said he was thinking about going home again. The 17 days before he disappeared, he said he wanted to go home again, over and over again, but yet there he was. They said he was broke. So much going on. I need more coffee.
Now, regardless of what the majority of the opinion is, okay, be aware again that
Hey, Pee Wee Barnes.
that a reputable news source did state that he was alive. Just so you guys know, again, regardless of popular opinion, regardless of our opinion, regardless, the point being is now whether that news source is correct or not, that we have to wait and see.
Hey, Thera, good morning.
But again, there was a reputable news source that stated he was alive. Okay.
But we've also seen some horrible photos from multiple people.
Yeah. Now,
different photos. I'm going to let you know. We're not talking
unofficial.
Different. Not the set that's out there. There's one specific set. There's additional ones.
This is the other side of the coin. Because remember,
we're sent stuff all the time.
Most of this. Okay. Now, media is not what it used to be. Media, aka, let's say, when I say reputable news source, even reputable news sources, even in the West, some of the stuff they put out is not necessarily true. So what I'm getting at is nowadays we don't know anymore. Back then, when they say,
here's the thing: we've received 2 sets of photos, 2 different people that look like him. Okay, and one came yesterday, and one had come a few days ago from a source. 2 different photos. Here's the thing. First off, we can't post them. If people ask for them, we can give them to certain members and moderators and stuff. But here's the thing. I was telling George, these could be photos of Russian soldiers,
correct,
Ukrainian soldiers.
Somebody of the same descent.
He looks Ukrainian, or he's got those type of features.
He does look Ukrainian more than
and
Russian.
So
yes,
these could be soldiers in all these wars and stuff because the photos aren't clear enough. Now, the one in the water was so close. I mean, what was it, 150 miles away with a rope around his leg and exact features of Elliot? That was different, guys. There were thousands that thought it was him. So I could see on board, and it's like, you ain't gonna catch me in that again. So it's like, okay. But here's the thing. What happened to Elliot? Was it the family? Did he really leave?
He could be.
Did he
after he left?
Could he actually have been taken by the ex in that triangle situation? There's been so many pieces of information given to us that news article stating about her having somebody right before they got together, there was a few month gap where she said in a relationship, and it wasn't Elliot. It was way before Elliot. A couple months before they were seen together in their photos and everything. So is it him in a jealousy rage? Was it the one that scammed him? Maybe he promised to marry her, and maybe after the scam, he just took off and the family was offended. Was it the person that he loaned 30 or 40,000? Was it 30 or 40,000 peso loans that, that alone, not repaying it back, could have caused an issue? Well, I could have done that.
Well, no, he's way beyond them.
Oh.
Way beyond. I've been watching it. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't see.
No, not today, but today.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Right. And again, like I said, we don't know. Again, he could be just, lounging somewhere, drinking coffee and laughing at the whole thing.
And that's another thing.
Because, like I said,
is his wife pregnant? Somebody, I think Sarah and a few others said that it was just confirmed where people thought she was pregnant. I still feel somewhere in there she could have been, but that's
now still... when it comes to, because a lot of you guys brought up the marriage thing. Now, when you convert to Islam, normally they kind of give converts a timeline. Not necessarily, it's not official. But what I'm saying is they want to see if you're real. Not what I'm saying is, for example, if I want to marry a Muslim girl, just an example, because obviously I'm married to my beautiful wife here. let's say I want to marry a Muslim girl. Normally, the masjid, they give you their hearts in, they give you the proper clothing, they train you to be a Muslim, and then after they said, okay, you've got, you're we think you're, acting appropriately. I think you're ready. That kind of deal. They kind of like,
I mean, it
well,
depends
no,
on
no.
where you're at. It
Right, right,
sounds
right.
like you went through something.
But what?
If you knew that much.
Well, the point is, they don't want somebody that walks right in through the door and says, "I'm going to turn to Muslim because I want to marry her." There's a difference there.
Actually, I mean, I'm not going to get into that. It works different in every area.
No, I understand
And
that, but
it's not
they
up
would
to
accept.
them.
They would accept somebody who came in through the door, converting first, and then marrying one of, versus somebody just, hey, I'm just answering the consensus.
Yeah.
Doing,
Yeah.
because again, they want to see a convert versus somebody converted because of a reason.
Yeah, I think it was just a pure conversion for that.
Correct. I think that
And
was
I don't know why the family, if they were, I've mentioned about being true Muslims, that it never showed them at the mosque. It never showed any Islamic
Right.
people around except for the family, and he wasn't doing anything.
He never did adhan, actually, because he did a lot of
That
lives.
was 20.
He
I
did a
watched.
lot of lives. He should have done an adhan in one of those lives. I'm just saying.
Don't know. We could be missing it.
Adhan is
We
one of the
could.
daily prayers. I mean, it could be. He could have just turned off the camera right before him. Yeah, but
Could be. Yeah, we could be missing anything.
But-
Yes. Hey, Kevin.
yeah, but normally you have an app
Hey,
on your
California
phone
Bear.
that yells out the adhan call, and then you do
I-
your prayers. But anyway,
They probably chucked that in the ocean.
what's that? Where?
California Bear said what happened to his passport. It's with him in the ocean. Huh. Who knows? But just like his phone, somebody had said there was responses through his phone. Who knows about that situation either? Oh, and for Mr. Sag, if he's actually still in the house, yeah, we've made so much money. We're going to Boracay, and we're going to a first class resort. We bought a Mercedes last week with our $300 that we made.
Yeah, and remember, we do
Pre-tax.
have 1, 2, 3 strike policy, but
yeah,
and most of the time we go even 5th or 6th or even 7th. I'm sorry if you went past.
he has another
Oh no,
lives, but that's
no,
fine.
yeah. Again, we can only take so
Either
much,
way,
and then
yeah.
we're sorry.
And
we're
by
gonna
the way,
have
I just want to let you know that not only saying how's the family, we have personally offered to do something for that family. So they have not responded back. And if it's the same as, who was it? Oh, the John and his wife and the diapers and the money, when we were told we made so much money profited off of them. Okay.
Oh, and we were accused of making stuff up, even though we actually had contact
her
with the
in
girl.
there, correct. So, but families not contacting back can't do that. And also, there's not a lot of money going around, guys. I mean, if you guys think we're doing this for the money, we're doing it for the clout.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
So I can be famous.
And for those of you who don't know about the John and his wife thing, just so you guys know,
Oh my God.
After the wife turned on us, she turned on everybody else. She flip-flopped like a fish.
Oh yeah.
And went against everybody. So anyway,
Really
that tells you it wasn't us. It was her. Anyway.
Either way, I'm sure there's another butthurt person out there,
Well,
Mr.
poor John.
Coffee.
Poor John. I mean, I'm just saying, because
talking about public, not public. No, this is very, very public.
For those of you who was wondering again who John is, again, he's the one that he invested his money on this house, but this house it didn't belong to the family that lived there. So that's where I was getting at. Yeah,
it said my friend converted to Islam the same day of his wedding, then found out later she had a husband in Iran. Oh yeah. There's so much going on in this country as far as hidden husbands, whether it's Islamic or not. The thing that I fear out there right now, and the thing that I fear right now is, do I feel the family did something or involved? I don't think so, but their silence would still involve them. And I feel as many that we've spoke to and what George knows is that the family can't talk because their own safety or other things going on, or they won't say anything because they live there. So they can't say anything. And it's funny. I mean, what a coincidence that his story about going fishing and, you know, being out with the fishing boat, those were fish inside the boat and all these different things. And that's what happened is he was carried off into a boat when that's not the only transport there. It just, I don't know. There's so much going on, but how much was the neighbors involved? How much were they involved? Not involved, you know?
And the dude
What's with all these? He's definitely gone. If he's been gone, the family, there would have been, I would feel pretty confident with the world knowing they'd have said something. Somebody would have slipped up on that side of the family saying, sorry about your loss. There's too many loose friends in each of their Facebooks and other chat out there going on, not a vlogger saying 1,000% he's dead, and then somebody else turning around and saying, you know, it's, yeah, that's just where it is. There's just too much for it not to be. And if he still was, as that most recent news channel said, that they had a source, okay, well, that was 9 days ago. I don't think he's sitting up in a hospital with the family saying that, but okay, we're going to go through more of the comments.
Yeah, Robert says, wondering if there will be a documentary. Well,
About
it might.
Close, yeah.
Might.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is
about as close as it's going to get.
Well, to a real one anyway. Because remember, most of the time, sometimes they sensationalize stuff. Kevin D says,
right, because if anything, they're going to take a bunch of small clips and a bunch of newspaper stuff to put together an actual documentary. And I'm physically, and nobody's really going to physically go down there and record and talk to the family and whatever, unless they offer them a crap load of money. And I don't think they'll go that far because this story is dying and dying quick. Every day there's less and less information out there right now. So nobody's...
It has potential.
Oh, okay.
Somewhere. Ex-Marine fights for his life in the Philippines.
You had potential to help with the rest of that last night, and you was snoring,
watching escape his captors, fight and struggle, live in the jungles with his nothing but the shoes on his shirt on his back.
He's sitting in a tent with a PlayStation 5 and an 80-inch television, eating a bunch of hot dogs and rice, laughing.
Sitting in a camp somewhere, eating hot dogs and rice, playing with his PS5, watching and laughing at everybody. Especially those vloggers.
Getting his laundry washed.
And
his back rubbed. And coconut oil on his feet.
And his hot dog tendered.
And dendered. All right, move on with the comments.
All right, so anyway, her old boyfriend was pulling her arm to get on his bike and ride.
Yes.
Okay, this is on one of the lives. Now, she told Elliot.
And Elliot laughed. Yeah, hell hath no fury like a woman scorned. Yeah, we seen that. She could have said, want me. Get rid of the husband. Yeah, there's a lot of...
But
I thought it was, but... You know, is that what happened? And is he linked to any of the factions? I keep calling them factions out there. Or just a horn dog teenager. Again, she just turned 18 by her own confirmation and graduation, okay? And her birthday cake and the birthday celebration she just had in September. So these are still young people. There was an 8-year difference. He married a young girl, and it is a different category. People are like, oh, well, it wasn't 80 and 50. No. There's still an 8-year difference in maturity levels. Well, he's probably still about as mature as her. I hate to say it. Even at 26 and 18, she could be. But she seemed to wear the pants. I don't know how many of you watch this. That girl wears the pants, and she wears them hard. Like, she's told him, no, I don't see. Now, could she be cooking and doing things on the side? Yes. But in everything, he's doing his own thing. And she's what's wrong?
Where's my little packet?
Packet of what? Oh, not right now. You keep your nuts down, man.
Oh, sorry.
He's looking for his nuts right now. But anyways, the whole point is that girl wears the pants. So, but she seems to be the one in charge. So much going on. But we will post this live documentary separate because basically it is a breakdown of his 14 live streams, 30,000 views up to now. And a guy that became a YouTuber, used to be a driver, came from Vermont, an American that knew better, but evidently didn't know. Family knew better, evidently didn't care. And I think she was waiting and wanting to get to the US because the mother and the grandmother told her to have patience a while back. They were going to get her to the US. Hey guys, first she's got to be 18 and go through some things and passports. And here's the thing, not always the easiest, being he was broke, to get her out of the country. You realize the documents it takes to get her out of the country?
You can't get her out of the country
It doesn't
unless
matter.
you can prove you can support her. Literally.
I don't even think, even if they did and the family had a buku amount of money, she still has to prove her security here.
Well, yeah, first off, on his side, he has to prove he has to support her and they have a place to live. And if that fails, they have somebody to support them.
And I'm sorry,
that's one half. The other half is
the Uber and
to
food
prove that the woman
not.
is going to come back to the Philippines.
People think it is that easy. It's not easy on my side to stay here and get paperwork done. And it's all for the 13A. And the same with people going to the US. It's even 10 times harder. And she had an uphill battle. The money was running out. He had mentioned he wanted to go home. There's so many different scenarios. It appears that they love each other. It's kind of like when me and George have our fights and stuff, you know, the Tyson Jake Paul fight situation. Here, give me some of that. Ready?
No, it's more like this. That's it. That's the fight.
Here, wait a minute. Do the uppercut. Here, uppercut.
No, he did this. He did this. He did. Mike Tyson went like this. And then he
thought about it.
Yeah, he's like, oh, no.
He's like,
no, 20 million.
Right? He withdrew that sucker, didn't he? He's like,
I can't hit him.
That was a trip.
I can't hit him. That was his tell. Anyway. Now, in all fairness, as far as her wearing the pants in the family, just to let you guys know, us guys have the women where we want them. We have them all thinking that they wear the pants in the house. Yes, boss. Love you, puppy.
Not really. Is that you and some cheap cologne? Where's that cheap cologne coming from?
What you bought me?
I deserve
I'm not even lying.
Is that the Draker?
I'm not lying. It was the one in the long.
Her?
No, Drucknor. She bought me a Drucknor. But no. It was the one in the long bottle.
Oh, damn.
It was the long bottle. It was a square long bottle.
I know. Look at this. I got the cold shoulder.
Oh, Mary.
Yeah, Mary won't come here.
Hold on. Let's see. This activity spawned open doors to look for anyone else the police or might have thought were being hidden. Now, this is a fair point. Chad says it's the election season. Got to keep the news on the down low until after the election. Correct. That's what I truly believe in. Once the election's over, I believe.
But isn't that a year away? You think they're going to hide all that for? I thought the election was until next year.
No. There's local elections and stuff.
I still think it's months away. They just registered. There's no election anywhere anytime soon.
Well,
it was all registering with the comm. They all just started the hype of the election.
I'll talk to my friend. Anyway,
real quick, Sarah says, how does Tube pay? I don't know if she's talking about YouTube. I checked. She was checking travel assist companies in the credits on a live. I don't know if you're talking about YouTube. She wouldn't get any of that. He was nowhere close. He needed X amount of hours. He might not even be hitting his watch hours at this point. Subscribers isn't enough to get paid through YouTube. You have to have watch hours, hundreds and hundreds. Not views.
Views are not what pays you. It's watch hours.
You have to accumulate hours.
The reason why I say I highly doubt he has to watch hours because again, with all due respect,
He might,
He
but I don't think in 30
could.
days. Maybe they would have to
Could.
watch them all. So you have to
Yeah.
accumulate hundreds of hours in order. Actually, I think it's 10,000 watch hours.
Right,
I have to double check.
right.
It's either 5,
It's
10,000.
10,000.
Is it
It's
10,000
10,000
hours?
watch
It's
hours,
not the easiest. It took us 2 years to get there for multiple reasons.
Well, but we were in the harder.
Yeah, we were in Mexico.
No. YouTube lowered their standards.
Oh yeah.
We got through the original standards.
Right.
Now the new
They
standards are
lowered it
lower.
to- yeah. So
Right.
but I don't know about that, and it doesn't matter. She was checking because the family told her that they were going to bring her there, but a travel agency isn't going to help her. It's a long process, and they've got to legally have documents through the Philippine government, and the parents had to approve and register and do the full marriage through the courts. Okay, so they just Islamically, I don't think, unless I'm missing something, but in reading the articles, I don't see that alone, them sitting in the room. Here, bring this up here. I think we have some of the. Yeah. One sec, we're going to grab the scroll down. We're just looking for the wedding photo or video. It was in there.
It's not you. You won't see the actual wedding.
It is. It's at the beginning.
Is it this one?
No. Here, let me see. You're not. So yeah, they're Islamically.
No, it's not in the beginning.
Right here.
That's different.
Yeah.
The wedding ba kuya? Don't forget.
This was them 14 months ago. A lot of the papers said that it was 6 months ago or 5 months ago that he's been here, and there's been so many different stories. But in
No, and that's another thing. This is not the masjid.
No, it's
how
I mean,
I get it, but to be accepted in the community, you have to
they
include
don't
the
do
community.
that. Sorry, they don't do that in a lot of countries. When you live out in the middle of Afghanistan and some other places in the desert, they don't wait. But usually there's a masjid somewhere.
Yeah, but this is not that remote.
It is and it isn't.
It is,
If
but
the
it
family's there and somebody, we don't know any of that, but it will have to be accepted, or at least they thought it was accepted enough. And as long as it's in the name of God, and that's what they feel, is a whole different
I
level.
understand that level, yes, but the community is a different story.
No, the community would be different. Yeah, they're telling him to put the rings on the fingers and how to do it. And it was more a Christian statement, I be wed and here's the ring. And I didn't hear anything remotely, but basically they were wed at home. Well, Victoria's saying allowing the ads to run helps pay too. Yeah, after they're monetized. It won't pay you during it. They're going to run ads now. A couple years ago, they could run ads. They didn't run ads unless you were technically monetized.
Well, like I said,
but now they run it on everybody.
We went through it on the harder times, meaning they had more difficult, more stringent
But you got paid back then. They didn't play shit.
during our
That's how you knew
time,
people were monetized.
when they ran ads on us, we were monetized.
Right. Back then they didn't run them unless you were monetized.
Correct.
Now they put it on everybody. And I'm like, oh, look, these guys are monetized. Like, no, they changed that policy.
Yeah, they changed it. We were
They're going to run it on them. That doesn't mean they're getting paid.
The
YouTube's
American
going to get
national
paid.
vlogger
Okay,
who
you
was
can stop
supportedly
it.
missing in
All right, so that was an article that we had initially, but yeah, they're going to run them anyways.
Yeah.
Yeah, without the proof of life, yeah, we get that.
Kevin says the world does care. Check every day for updates.
Yes.
Thank you both for caring. Robert says, I check all the time for updates. Victoria says, Elliot's family may have wanted media blackout due to privacy until they're ready to allow it. Or he's back in the U.S. whether alive or not. Just my opinion. Now, the weird thing is, again, regarding
can they actually request that?
No.
I didn't think so. Not in this day
Well,
and age.
Again, it goes against what you said earlier, that somehow they're asking for updates themselves, which is kind of
Well, a media blackout. Yeah, they wouldn't be talking to people on Facebook
Yeah,
if they wanted that
asking.
private. No, they're
Yeah,
asking
they're
one of her
asking.
sisters. She has multiple sisters, and grandparent and mother have been in there asking as updates.
Oh, Sarah says
And
it was a passport assist company.
well, that's still not.
Well, it's probably for her.
Well, that's what I
Yeah.
mean. Yeah. Yeah. So
But even if she had a passport,
that doesn't mean she'll get out of the country.
Correct,
You
she
can get a
doesn't-
passport.
In
Yeah. So
fact-
definitely.
in fact, wasn't it was this month when an expat contacted us and somebody got denied. His wife, keyword wife,
Oh my God.
got denied.
Has businesses, has
it's
houses.
not that easy, guys. It's not that easy
She had
taking a
everything.
woman out of here.
Almost 8 years together, and they still. It's up to here. It can depend on somebody's attitude in the United States, but there's a little bit more of a different process here. If you upset the immigration person, I believe at some point that we got semi denied. Initially, he wasn't really denied. He just said he needed other documents when he could have taken the documents we had. And it's all because I had said something snide, but to me, it wasn't snide. It was just me being me. It wasn't like I was like, well, I'm not going to do it. No, that's not how it went down. But after that, he's like, yeah, I can't take this document. I'm like, you've taken it from somebody else. And that would have been snide to him by saying, you've taken it from somebody else before. But you can't mess with the immigration people here, and if they're having a bad day, but add on all the other requirements. Okay, let's try to get through.
Sorry, I had to laugh because I had to think about who the second one is. Harley says, haven't been here in a while. Good to see you both doing well. Isn't it peaceful now the two main trolls are gone? Sorry, I just had to think. I was like, who's that on? I was like, oh.
Actually, yeah. I mean, we was already put them in the back seat a long time ago, so it's actually that's fine. Just makes the world go round.
Sarah Tyson says that looks like practice to me. It's possible.
Yeah.
It has crossed my mind, yes. Robert Hoffman. Although technically, again, you don't need to go to the masjid to do it. Heidi is absolutely correct. I'm just saying that the community would be more accepting. Robert.
Yeah, I don't know if that was practice. They literally, I don't know. I didn't get the practice vibe from that.
No, I got you. I don't think it's practice either, but
it could have been. It's
could
a
have been. That's what I
possibility.
said.
Yes, I agree. There's
you never discount
always
everything.
Yeah.
But because again, in Islam, you don't have to go to the masjid. Don't get me wrong. Again, and you don't have to.
That
again,
could be the photos that they were in and everything else.
The best way to
so
explain it is there's the okay. I'm not using these terms are just layman's terms. To be political in the community, you know what I'm saying? You go through the conversion stage first and then marry the girl versus walking
At the
in
same
and
time.
then marry the girl and convert at the same time.
Yeah. So
Politically, it's more acceptable if you walk
probably,
in first.
In saying that and thinking about it, Sarah, yes, the clothes, and it showed a photo of her family. Looks to be her mom and dad or uncle were with her. They were dressed up that day. That might have been when they went into the mosque.
Well, yeah, it's possible.
So, yeah. Very good observance there.
Robert says if they have enough income, cash to process, she could go to the U.S. Best thing for her to. And well,
it's possible,
it's
but considering she has no ties, no property, no bank account, and he has no money, that would mean I don't even know if with her being Filipina that the grandparents could sign for. Can a grandparent actually? I don't think so.
Age of 18 too is a little rough too.
Yeah.
The reason why I said that, it's not because it's a
There are
personal
professionals
feeling
that don't get through.
What I'm saying is the reason why I mentioned the 18-year-old age is because the reason why immigration is so tough on Filipinos getting out because they don't want them to be traded off, get traded, and that's why they're like, no, most of the time. Sarah Tyson says so they caution for pictures. Victoria says allowing the ads. Oh yeah, we already addressed that. Bad Habit says it's in the name of the money. Kellen says the fact that we're here has been no proof of life at this point. leads me to believe he passed, and sadly, we won't know anything. In the end, honestly,
It's possible.
it's possible we'll never know anything at this point. Yes. No, he's always been buff. I mean, no, Robert, he's always been buff. He's always been in shape. So, except for him eating 10,000 lanzonis a day, yeah, he's pretty in good shape.
Oh, I guess my question is can she get money? No. No, because
No.
what's going on is, unless, first off, it doesn't matter even if they are legally married. Like, the YouTube is in George's name. It's all the business licenses, everything is in his name. The check drops into his bank account. It is his actual money. Two people don't get a check here. I appear here.
Well,
But when it comes to that, okay, I don't have access to your account,
Not to
and he wasn't
mention-
monetized.
Right.
He's got to set up full monetization, and he's got to come up with tax numbers, and he has to come up with registering and getting there's a code that they send on a piece of paper. That was that whole thing that David Campbell went through.
That's what I was going to say.
There's several processes to it.
Let's play along that Eastman is very business oriented and knows everything that he needs to be monetized with. Let's say he knows how to fill out the paperwork, turn in the proper paperwork. Let's say he knows all of that. Here's the problem I have. In all probability, his YouTube account is set in the US. You know what that means? To verify, YouTube needs to send you a code by mail.
Which will be to the
mail,
US.
not email. Mail.
Right. So the address he has on
Correct.
file, which I'm sure it is
So
the United States
right now. He
It's
got monetized while he's here.
so then he has to apply for the YouTube program, the YPPT or something they call it, and he's registered to the US. The codes that is needed to activate in the end is sent to the United States.
Right.
But first he has to physically apply. It's not automatic.
Yeah, it's
There's
a lot of
couple stages, and you have to set up the taxes.
yeah. It's not boom, you're monetized, you have money. No, it's actually a process.
It's not. It's
It's a bear. No, really, it's a bear.
Yeah, because like Facebook, we've been paid once or twice through Facebook since we've started. And I was like, hey, we got it. We got something saying they sent $25 to our account. I said, it's a scam. We've never gotten a check from Facebook, but it did work that easy with them. We have, like, on the Facebook account, from so many of the videos being played and our shorts, they accumulated some hours and we had some stars. We only had to provide a bank account to transfer that into, like, initially when we set up the Facebook. And so they just do it automatically. We didn't have to apply for a partner program or go through all these stages. So it was already set up. So, and then they did actually, I forgot, it was either PayPal for you or something they sent it to.
Yeah.
So it was interesting. So, yep.
Harley says he did seem he
That
was on
Facebook,
the
no.
spectrum. Dan, Milwaukee, USA. Rip Elliot. Carol Brenner says, hey, Carol, how you doing?
Hey.
Learning to Live says, it's sad both of you are so nice bringing out the information, taking your own time just to do it. I'm sorry, you get trolls and BS.
We've gotten used to it.
It comes to
the territory.
Yeah.
It's something, it's a crash course of people loving and hating, and for people turning around and picking. And then a long time ago, we turned around and we were like, just realized, oh, wait a minute, you don't get nowhere without hate, and you don't get nowhere without love. We have 99.2% people that love us and a small percentage that don't. And it's all good, people.
Even knitting channels get trolls. No, I'm not joking.
Oh yeah, everybody does.
Everybody gets
Everybody. There we go. Hey Michael,
how you
thank
doing,
you.
man?
She can get his SSI only if US recognizes the marriage. That's true. And that's not going to happen because that's a whole different stage. In order for her to get his SSI, doesn't she have to live so many quarters over there?
Wait, correct. First, again,
I wouldn't even get into Social Security.
Well, no. I'm just saying, first, the U.S. have to recognize the marriage.
Correct.
And I think
it's Islamic right now, but we
correct.
could be wrong.
We could be wrong, but from what we've seen, only even the Philippine government doesn't recognize the marriage.
There's been multiple. I'd probably say I've seen 6 newspapers that say that they were married by a ceremony only through Islam. So that's newspapers. So that's what I'm basing it on, and from what we just seen and then the photos, it would indicate there was some sort of home wedding versus
it's like a church wedding without the paperwork.
Yeah, so but they're saying it was a ceremony at but yes, they would need it. And there's another stage, because we've talked about Social Security on and off, haven't covered it in a while. And the reason I don't know anything right now, what I do know is I'm on disability. When I turn 62, it goes to regular Social Security. And then if I die a month afterwards, okay, then George is
Falls
62. And then something happens, then he would get a percentage of mine, or it would make up the difference. Whoever has the highest, you get the higher. There's a whole different thing, but he qualifies for Social Security, although he's a Filipino citizen, because he qualified it for 25 plus years that you lived in the United States.
27.
Okay. So he will get his Social Security, and then my dad, it was something like 2,800, and then my mother's was X amount. When my mother had passed away first, he got whatever was the higher, the difference in between. I think it was like $300 difference. I think he got the 300 was how they did the checks back then, but that's been a while. So with whatever the difference is what you get added. You don't absorb that check each month. Like, you don't get that amount and you don't get half of it.
Yeah.
When there's 2 of you getting Social Security. But and as far as we had seen where oh my God, it's been a while since we've talked about him. But one of the guys that had the baby, and Mark Thornton. My God, it's been that.
I was gonna say,
Mark Thornton, when he had the baby, he was trying to say that he already set up for his wife just to get the check. That's not the way it works. You don't set up a bank account. He was telling people in a couple of his live streams, well, I've already set up the bank. This was a while back. I set up that bank account and it's just going to go in there. And he might have set up a bank account for it, but there's no automatically setting up Social Security in advance for the kid to get it, or the wife to get it. Oh, he said when he passed away, the wife would automatically start getting his check.
That's what I was going to say. Regardless of, I'm not talking about Mark.
Yeah.
If you were an American and you married a Filipina or Filipino, if you pass away, your check dies unless that Filipino qualifies first.
Okay, Keldon said, okay, so we were right. You have to live 5 years in the U.S. in order to get it.
Yes, that's how I said.
That's what we keep hearing.
Your wife has to qualify first, or a Filipino.
But the kid can't.
Right. Now, let's say they qualify. That's what I was getting at. Let's say they qualify. They already lived there for 5 years. Now, your check still doesn't go directly to them unless they get a Social Security check.
Now, he can set up the bank account. That would be a true part, but not setting it up in advance so it automatically.
Right. Now,
unless she just doesn't report it and she keeps collecting a check.
Well, it's possible, again, that...
Which is not legal.
Yeah, there's a lot of ways to cut the cheese, so to speak, but, it's not as easy as what a lot of people make it sound to be.
And we like Landers over SNR.
Yes. Landers to me is much.
We've done both memberships. Landers I like, and we even have the delivery of Landers stuff.
The way I see it's kind of like Sam's versus Costco, I guess. I like Sam's Club. I like Sam's Club more than Costco. Same thing. I like Landers more than SNR. You guys get the picture. They're similar but different. Yeah. For example, Landers, well, of course, they both have gas.
There is dowry in Islam. Yeah, someone says you pay family dowry, and he says, I don't think there's dowry. Of course there is.
There's dowry, yes.
As a matter of fact, he said that it was going to be, he definitely made a statement about 50,000 pesos. And he said that was for the entire situation. So I don't know if that included paying the family dowry, but remember, he set up a sorry store. He put 30 or 40,000 pesos or 1,000 US dollars in stock in it. He set up the Starlink and the internet business. He mentioned over and over again, I'm broke and broke. I'm broke.
Check that
So
guy. Let's see if it's fresh. Anyway.
well, what do you mean? Yeah, no. Just go ahead.
Go ahead. Yeah.
Yeah. No, don't know nothing, Ernie. We didn't say.
We never said that.
We said we feel that he is personally. We said if you would listen to an entire live stream coming in here and dropping a small piece of your brain in this live stream and watch the stuff that we put out, we said that a news channel said their sources said he was alive. We've been saying he's been gone since that bloated guy on the beach. And since it's been 30 days. But we don't know that. We're not going to sit here and say, oh, 1,000% and 1,000,000% he's gone. Hate much?
Yankee Bay says, I would assume it's the same for Elliot's wife. By the way, great channel. Been watching for 3 years. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Yankee.
Um,
And it was a very short, listen to me past tense, very short marriage with a lot of rocky bumps. They've actually had it out on air so many different times, so many different topics. When I think about the guy and this other guy and about a half a dozen people that we've dealt with in the past month, 6 people maybe have been in a certain light about how this situation is going down. A few of them pretend that they're their best friends. I don't think they're either troll or sock puppet accounts that have signed up with the family somehow, some way, or just been watching this whole thing, pretending to be a friend. But it doesn't matter who's getting ahead of this or how things are actually being. What are you thinking about?
No. Go ahead. Yeah.
Oh, well, I kind of lost my train of thought, but there is something out there about people putting out this information that he's absolutely gone or that he's alive and how personal it is and how this is just a personal situation. Mind your business. We get that on everything, every single thing, about every vlogger, about everything that we do. So get over yourself on that one. But dude, this is public. And evidently, I'm going to warn you guys now and later, we have a description with all of this in there. I'm giving you not only a piece of my mind, but talking to you about it now because you're that important. So for the special ones, read the description. We sit here and think about after these live streams, we know they're either to a certain degree. I just don't get it. It makes you wonder. It's like, did they not watch the article or read it or why they say it? And it's like, oh, well, they just want to come in and start ruckus and show us how much they love us, I guess. But it's public. This is a discussion. Always has been a discussion.
Yeah. No, actually, Keldon made a good point. Keldon says he was about 28 years old. Highly doubtful.
26.
Well, that makes it worse. I'm saying in Keldon's view.
Oh yeah, and he's an independent contractor.
He had enough. Doubtful he had enough points for any SSI in the first place. He was broke as hell. It's nonsense to discuss money his wife is entitled to.
They're probably thinking that though.
I mean, yeah. The earliest he could work legally anyway, 16 years old, and even then, how much? Most of the time,
he's right. So, but he's been an independent contractor, and which means he's not. It worse, he's not paying certain taxes at this point.
That's right. Yeah,
no, you're self-pay. I actually drove for Uber for a while. There's nothing hidden about that. Someone the other day was like, "Oh, we seen your Uber account again." I'm like, "Okay." I put that out a long time ago. I did something called Uber Heidi.
Yeah.
And it's.
No. So, he's got a good point. And Keldon also says...
Actually, that was for fun. I used to use a face filter and say, Uber Heidi here. And it was just like having fun on TikTok situation. But no, you pay your own taxes. And if you're only making X amount, he hasn't... No, there's no way he's paid for Social Security yet.
And Keldon also says you don't kidnap broke people. Well, that's the problem. They don't know that.
And they announce it right.
This abduction was personal. He made enemies. Now...
Yeah.
That part, the news actually did state that they think that it was the news stated that they believe the PNP said it was probably personal.
It could have been from either side. He had an ex that took him for a ride and scammed him, and she had one that she had just broke up with 3 months before. An inside story says that there was a promise, or they were together kind of on a permanent side. And so then Elliot comes in. So Mike Proctor said his wife can sell his solar equipment. Yeah, if they can keep it like running and connected. He was always in there messing with stuff, and he said there'd been issues, and he had already replaced some stuff already.
I think they'll run it as long as they can and then sell it afterwards. But
well, here's the thing: in those photos here lately that appeared, it looks like everything's all boarded up. Maybe they decided to stop running the store since he's been gone. I mean, I guess no. I would hope. I don't know. I can't even begin to assume what they're doing.
Without
If they're eating
Eastman,
up the
they can't
stock,
keep paying the Starlink cost. I mean, that's really expensive.
Somewhere around what, $40 a month? I'll have to check. I don't know what the cost is, but
I mean,
yeah.
Why would they pay for that internet? They never had it in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
And they can't live too long on that. And here's the thing: when do they decide to sell that? You know, I mean, I don't know. Is this family just going to say, "Hey, sell it"? Should they still run it for the, the best they can? I mean, she's got brothers, and one of the wives has a husband. Maybe they can keep it going for income, but they would have to pay. Will they, and can they?
Yeah. Blue says you must have a minimum of 40 working quarters, 10 years to qualify. SS benefits at the minimum retirement age. Sarah Tyson says maybe they're afraid too now. Well, that's the thing. Our belief is they've always known who did it. They're just too afraid to say who it is.
Yeah.
Now that's our belief.
Which may be smart. We don't know, and you wouldn't know until you're in that situation. I thought it was just a couple, places next to it that belonged to the family, maybe some further down, being they were on the water edge. But no, there's by a drone shot, it's like way, way up in the air. I mean, we still have that footage. I don't know if you want to go through it again, but I think that's a long article of her and GMA. But the whole point is that do you want to just show the aerial view? I think it was like right in the beginning.
Well, where's the?
Let me see. Here, let me see if I can find it.
File.
Yeah.
Because there's new files there.
Yeah. Let's see if I can. I may not be able to pull it. No, I think I might have gotten rid of it.
That one with the newscaster up front? There was one with
that's not. No, that's not. No, it would have just been her, and it was after the Eastman thing.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
It's not just then?
No.
Okay.
It's not. No, we must have, without downloading it again, we only keep so much in the
drive.
Actually, in the drive without it being in the main drive. So, but yeah. So the aerial view looks like, I can't even tell you. It looks like 1,000 houses are connected down there. So there's been people that said, they're really surprised. I was surprised nobody came out at that point. People are like surprised that, that they came out. There were stories of him being out on the beach when it happened. Then they said it happened inside. Then a bunch of people said it all happened outside. And then the photo showed that it was inside. And so there's so many different things going on. Yeah.
Sarah Tyson says, don't give up. Yes, government's above my pay grade. Yeah.
So, comments here. Yeah.
Well, that's on the one on the bottom.
Oh. I'm just going through some comments here, guys. Let us know what you actually think and what you thought of. I get the documentary live stream thing was a bunch of weird clips, but I'm just working with what the boy put out. But then were some of the moments like him. It showed he's compassionate with the kids. and that he, with the animals, man, he sure loves them cats. I meant to say something earlier. He bumped that poor cat's head, boom. And there was a lot of times he spent time with the cats and stuff. And he really, really he even wanted his wife to get into the vlogging. He said something to her several times. He ran a bunch of Facebook live streams too. But when I went in there, I didn't see any of the live streams for that day. So that's why all 14 of them were based. That was tedious going through that. So
No, it is. It is.
and I don't mean it as in it was just absolute horrible stuff. It just means that, I wanted to go through and see if he made any statements like the one about, going on that fishing trip. He said it that day.
That
and
night,
then
yes.
are you going to sleep with me tonight? He didn't mean as in, lovey. He meant with him next to him. And as you see, he was sleeping by himself. Yeah. His last video showed him laying there by himself. And I'm still trying to figure why she would make this statement that she can't. And so it's just weird. Just the whole thing, guys. It's so much.
It's a lot of oddities. And again, for some strange reason, that day he decided to make extra lives. Now, is it premonition? I don't know. Or is it,
2 weeks before, someone's going to come in here and take me in the middle of the night. And that's what the family said.
Right.
His wife was sitting right there 17 days before when he said all that. Somebody came in, took him in the night, and put him on a boat.
Yeah. And hence, again, that's why a lot of people think it's staged, because it's kind of odd that he said a lot of,
at least, a dozen,
way
maybe even
2
dozen times in the last 2 months 3 months before he disappeared, that, hey, they hate me here. They're going to get me. And so either he was extremely shell-shocked or afraid, or his what do you call them? His spider rays or spider
sense.
Something. There was a lot. Something going
on. Well, they could be actually physically telling him.
Mm-hmm.
Learn to Live says thank you for the love. It's an adjustment. Thor the Islander says, I watched the video just to get an idea of what he is. His life seemed boring and wished he left the place. A life is more than hold in a captive environment. And that's what he kept saying over and over.
Yeah, I wanted to put a few of the clips where it showed him active, and his most active time was eating or out on that beach. But remember, that first part, that was only a 24-hour of me cutting up a bunch of clips of hours and hours and hours of, and most of the time he wasn't talking. So I could only go by his camera angles, and
most of the time he's not
talking.
And
it took a lot of steadying out. I just didn't cut and paste. That required us to stabilize footage and use paid apps to, and there was a lot to it, guys.
Yeah.
So I just hope you guys enjoyed it for sure.
If he's not talking, he's eating. Smile and be happy. Hey, smile and be happy.
Flexing.
How are you doing?
Look at me.
Pee Wee Barnes says, just tuning in. Is Elliot really gone? Do you mean dead? And
no, it just means he's gone. Yeah. That's Jim 24
says, no proof of life or death. Correct. There's
just
neither nor.
Gone.
Yes.
He's not at home and he's not with his wife. I guess I could have called it out to lunch, boy. What do you think? Can I get a broadcasting thing? Out to lunch.
Out to lunch, boy.
A production.
What? Should have said the whole thing.
Yeah.
Elliot Eastman. Out to lunch, boy. A production of I'm Gone Film.
Noodle Films.
Oh.
He eats a lot of ramen noodles.
Now, Sarah says Elliot seems to have people comment to him on his phone. Has his family stopped talking to his sister?
Well, Elliot seems to have people comment on his phone. It's because he's in a live stream. Them aren't recordings. That's why it looks. He's reading from the live streams. Is that what she means? People commenting on his phone? Yeah, it's probably because of the live stream. So that's what he's commenting. He does live streams through Facebook and YouTube. And then his last day of life from where we started it, where he was sleeping the night before on the 16th, all that's real stuff throughout the 24 hours. Okay. Up to the point where he fell asleep situation. And there seem to be some people that has been in our room and that have contacted us that were in his live streams and gotten to know him. And if you watch his last few lives, he actually has where he says, "I'm glad you guys are here to talk to me." At that time, probably about 6, 7 people. So his live streams were extremely slow and about 6 or 7 people. After he was gone, he actually had picked up an extreme amount for somebody, like I said, only the top 5% of vloggers will monetize and pick up any numbers. I think they said 85% never see above 100 views on their entire account or something. Or the numbers are really unreal. A lot of people think everybody's monetized and everybody has money or numbers and gets money from it, but not really. You're just seeing that percentage being thrown to you because the algorithm is pushing the numbers around.
No. YouTube is not as easy.
It's a fickle, and it got worse here lately. Here even in the last few months, if you don't, it's called pay to play for YouTube. They absolutely with Google want you to pay for advertisement. So if you're not pushing certain types of content and have a full production, they're paying. All those ones getting big numbers have invested part of their money into advertisement with Google now. That's what's pushing their monetization around.
Yeah.
We cannot afford monetization when the top check we've had all year is $300 a month, and that's a good month. And then you lose 70 to taxes, and then we pay a tax man to do the taxes, and we pay for 4 or 5 different apps and electric, like extra lights and different things go on, and it does add up, guys. But we don't pay into that right now. So, and we just do it because we like it. But
and again,
far from it.
No, it's far from it. Running a monetized channel is getting a monetized channel is not as easy as it sounds. Again, I actually have a friend. This is a fact. I have a friend that actually hired his own team. He has an entire team.
Some do.
To create a YouTube channel, and it failed. The reason why I know this is because one, I was his first pick as to be the video editor, video whatever, because he knows we're close friends, and we actually hung out.
Also isn't as easy.
We actually hung out with the bar girls actually, but no, he was actually the friend that again I hung out with the bar girls with. But what I'm saying is, his channel failed. It's not easy, guys, and he had a whole team.
You guys are just seeing the top 10%. We're not the top 10%.
And this is in the U.S. It's in the U.S.
And it used to be we used to get always 2,000-3,000 views without any effort, like no matter what video we came out. Now the average is not 10 or 20% of your subscribers. It's now 5 to 2.5%. But we've been reinvited back to Google again. So that is something that we treasure over all money. Is we're the only one in our genre or in the 30 vloggers around us that have made it to Google and invited to come back again.
Strangers have actually told me that they're proud of me, us, that we made it to Google. And thank you guys again for your support for making that happen. Honestly, thank you for being here and supporting us. Now, this is actually something I did notice too. I just never say anything about it. Sarah Tyson says for newlyweds, their interactions were cold. Ted also agrees. Very good point. Now, Laura also, this is also could be a real thing. Could affection be shown in front of a camera be cultural? Not necessarily cultural, but some people are just camera shy, and they may turn into blocks of ice when they're in the there's some
I don't know
really animated people out there, but when you point the camera at them, they shut down. We don't know. And that's also what Ted says. Laura, good point. Laura says, I think he's alive. And Ted says, love is blind. There you go.
Yeah, no. He said a lot of stuff. Like he was actually saying things about the sister being abusive to the kids, and how he was really getting angry with her, and don't go off with those people, meaning the family. There was some conflicts going on, but I think everyday life was happening on the camera in front of him. That's what I think was actually going on. I'm just confirming Google right
now.
or the actual ride. This time I arranged the ride for Google.
What?
Dang, yeah, boy, I can't trust you, boy.
What? I want the roller coaster Tatay ride. The guy
No, George.
who can
For
barely
now
see
on, you just stick to
and has like
getting,
a block of
you
lead
just-
on this gas pedal.
you just stick to getting the fried chicken and biscuits, and I will stick to the house business.
I told Heidi actually yesterday. I told her, I said, in the US, I go full throttle on my 650cc bike on the interstate, and I go full throttle on the same thing on the cars that I drive. But that guy, man, he had me like going. I was like, I'm not
Face is still
joking.
dirty.
He,
What do you
he
mean
made
face
that Toyota Vios fly, and I'm not joking. You can actually feel the lift off the ground, literally. Jesus. Bad Habit says it's his way out. I believe he's talking about like probably the fishing boat thing. Laura says marriage is an eye opener. That's good to hear.
Yeah. Oh, look, she's
No
getting-
way you could be sitting
she's
drinking
looking at her
coffee.
belly,
Stands
babe.
out too much.
Babe, look at her belly. See her getting bigger? Here, feel how heavy she's getting. There's Mary. Say hi, Mary. There's something about Mary.
Sarah
Mary.
says was coaching his wife to look flirty on TikTok because he said she
Kiss-
could
give her a
make
kiss,
money.
Dad.
I'm not kissing potty mouth. That's a trap. That's potty mouth.
Leave my
That's potty mouth Sally. She's still a puppy. She still has these
habits.
so to
And
speak.
now that we're giving her
Look at her,
high
look at her.
pro, babe, I'm keeping her hair up like
I'm
that. You're
not
messing with her
petting her.
do.
No, I'm not petting her hair, weirdo. I'm petting her
No,
back.
here, feel how heavy she's getting. Here, feel
What?
her.
No,
She's getting heavier.
no, she's getting stockier. Stockier is the word.
Well, I still have to feed her 3 times
She's not
a day.
fat, but she's getting stocky. Yes.
Hi, Mary.
See, that's the thing. That's against.
No, you can't get
That's
me.
haram. That's again TikTok for a Muslim is really not
Yeah.
acceptable.
But she was doing things before, like she's got like 6 Facebook accounts under all
Yeah.
different names. And it did show her posing out on the beach and in water and everything else.
Yeah,
So I'm not
and-
talking about like what you guys are thinking, but what I'm saying is she, for her being Islamic, she sure had a lot of social media.
and don't get me wrong, I'm talking about the religion itself, Islam. In Islam, you're not really supposed to do that. There's a lot of ones that do it regardless. For just to prove a point, in the Middle East,
What do you got
if you're
to
on
say there?
TikTok and you're TikToking as a Muslim woman, they literally come and get you and arrest you. Fact. Just let you guys know. Anyway, Kevin says, I think he died while they were transporting him, and he was either thrown over the boat or buried.
A lot of people believe that body that they claimed was just a local woman. All of a sudden, after all the people were yapping that it was Elliot, and it was right before the major holiday, they turned around and said a local woman came forward and claimed him, and that he was somebody's assistant or something.
Yeah.
And it just, a lot of people still ain't buying that either. So
Yeah, Bad Habit says nothing
they
is
they
the way they say in the Philippines.
they
There you go.
confirmed.
Kevin says, so sad. His family hope we get answers soon.
Yeah.
We would hope there's a happy ending regardless
Sure.
of.
Yeah, I
you
mean,
know.
and some publicity is not bad publicity. In the videos we have out, we've asked people to contact from the very beginning. Hey, he's missing and everything's going on.
What's that?
I don't know.
Oh.
Mystique. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know what that means. Yeah.
What's going on? Puppy. Right.
Oh,
That's not even a real tale.
that's a little too much,
George
Mike.
what's a,
Mike says cats were his only friends. Aw.
did you still think it's cute how he bumped the cat's head? It's like, don't.
20-minute movie says, are those your favorite movies in the background?
pretty much, but not the top movies. But we both have watched these.
I was
over
gonna say
and over again.
Gladiator isn't there.
What?
Gladiator isn't there. But no, those
I
those
like the
are
color
those
purple.
are on the tops definitely. But some you can't get the poster. For example, Color
I mean,
Purple.
Titanic. I've seen. Well, actually, I can. We just didn't really
There's actually a Color
have.
Purple.
Yeah, babe. There's different ones. Yeah, there's a lot
Well,
of
I know there's
classic.
different ones, but not necessarily.
Misery. All those.
Oh my gosh, Misery,
70s.
love Misery.
Listen.
Favorite. Oh my gosh.
Can anybody tell me why the doggy?
Kathy
Never
Bates.
mind. My doggy doesn't listen very well.
What?
I'm
She
just
does.
Well, I want to.
She's a good puppy.
Well, give her a kiss.
No, that's a trap. It's like
It is a trap. Okay,
it's like
so
it's like kissing
we
a
don't
toilet.
know what's going on. She's fed 3 times a day as a puppy, and she gets the right amount divided 3 times. Although she seems like she's getting heavier. But like my Chihuahua, and I clean it up right away. She almost immediately tries to eat her poop. I don't know if she ate it. I don't know if she ate it at the other house, as a puppy before we got her, but I know it's not totally strange.
Well, it's a puppy thing.
Yeah, she's like 4 months old, and but my miniature baby Chihuahua, well, she always stayed little. I think Katie stayed under 4 pounds the whole time, but she did the same thing, but only in the beginning. Like the first year she did it. And I heard all kinds of things. They're like, you're supposed to put certain things in their food and they don't like the taste of it. But I'm like, but isn't that a problem as they eat it? I don't know. But what are you doing? She has flea oil. I don't know why.
Robert says his getaway music video with his wife was really good.
I don't know anything about that.
Keldon says, I still say...
Oh, the getaway video. He's talking about her birthday party. That was her birthday party at the little resort swimming pool.
Oh, as in getaway. Okay, well, we were thinking of a different kind of getaway. Yeah. Keldon says, I still say, had his wife been taken into custody for suspicion of being accomplice, we would know what happened.
You know what? There were several Muslims during the first couple of days. I want to let you know, I probably seen no less than 50 comments from other different, not all the same people, that said, you know where he is, you know what you did. And I get people are going to say that, like if, they would say that to me as an American. Hey, Heidi, we know what you did with George. Fess up. I get these comments are going to come out, but when you check their accounts, you'll see they're from that area. And they're pretty much saying, you know what happened, girl. You know what time it is. But it's
well, and remember, just be careful of what you do, the little things you do, because eventually, now, for example,
be careful what you do because little people like me are all over the internet.
No, it's more than that. For example, Robert says he gave free candy to kids, free pigs to neighbors. Here's an example. Actually, I just revealed something to Heidi this morning, literally.
Yeah,
I never told her.
This isn't us on.
I never told her.
Are you talking about him being around them young kids all the time?
No, no, not that. What I'm saying is, guys, be careful of what you do because it spreads.
Oh yeah.
For example, yesterday, kids approached me and they were asking for money for food. They literally said,
only example,
right? But they literally said, we want money for. Well, they're still a part of the story. I never told you. So I was surrounded by 4 kids. They said, "Sir, can we have money for food?" And I leaned over because they're tiny. They're not teenagers. They're tiny. And I said, "Are you really going to spend the money on food?" He says, "Yes, sir." I said, "Okay, let's go." So I took them. I said, "Come on, let's go." And we walked over to a Koreandaria, and the lady at the Koreandaria already knew. She's like, "Oh, you're gonna feed the kids." It says, "Yeah." So she started getting the food ready for the kids, putting a bag of rice and a bag of food for the kids. Okay. No, this is what I mean by be careful what you do. An old man approached, and he was looking.
We
and then
have other examples from the distance. When you hear things like that, like when we loan somebody money in the neighborhood, somehow 5 streets over, people hear about that. And we've had people come to the house after we've helped a neighbor. or like one of our god kids when we gave money out. Okay, then somebody else heard that we did that. There's just you just got things spread quick here.
Okay, that's what I'm getting at. That's what I mean. The old man walked over and looked, and then the lady was like, "Tatay, tatay, would you like some food?" And he says, and then she goes like, "He'll pay for it. He'll pay for it." I mean, and then
It's a different.
and then she
world
goes like,
here. You just have to.
and then she
roll
looks at
with
me.
it.
She's like, "Apparently, he doesn't know who you are." I was like, "What I'm saying is,
it's a-
apparently, I
it's a
built that
different
reputation."
world. It's a different world here.
Yeah, you
And
get a
if you don't
reputation,
roll,
and they'll
you're going to get
remember
rolled.
that. Yeah,
Either roll with it or get rolled. And it looks like our boy got rolled.
no, yeah. Again,
It's
but some
he
people
tried
take
to
things
fit
too
in.
far. Right. Again, just be careful.
I
Just
don't
be
know.
careful, guys.
That last day, he really was talking about
And
how
I'm
they wanted to
Filipino.
go.
I'm Filipino. I'm not even.
You just passing. I already asked my boy about joining a live stream. I'm gonna do what I've been saying for almost 4 years, and I'm gonna replace you for some live streams.
Yeah. So just be careful out there, guys. Again, you'll get a reputation if you and
How about you replace me for a live
you
stream?
know.
How are you gonna replace me?
Can't.
What are you gonna go get one of the guys down on Walking Street?
You're replaceable.
Why don't you go get one of those guys with a big stomach, like one of those big Americans, and put the blonde wig or my curly wig and sit him right here, and then you can have.
Forget that. I'm gonna get one of those guys between Phillies and Envy.
They're not big and white.
I never said they are. I'm just saying.
I'm saying you got to replace me,
just
not
saying
with just the body.
They have more makeup than you do.
It's got to be a Caucasian.
I don't know.
They
might be a big Caucasian. They probably won't get any customers though. But anyway.
Oh my God! Now this is just joking on the side. Me and George when we was going through the footage last night. You'll notice like Elliot's eyebrows are really thinned out, and I'm like, he looks like he does drag, okay? And it was just an observation per his eyebrows. And we were told by some people, I think Sarah had told us and some others, that it showed where he put a bra on.
It seems like he has microblading, for those of you wondering.
I think the girls are doing it to him. They put makeup in his bra.
His eyebrows are way too perfect.
So then I was like, wow, wouldn't that be a twist if that was part of his side money, that he was just running a Caucasian, ladies show there?
All right, look at Heidi's eyebrows. You see how that's a normal eyebrow. This is a normal. His is a perfect eyebrow shape.
Well, it's really thin. It's penciled
penciled in. But it's the whole thing.
I think the girls are doing it. They've been cutting his hair. I've seen him shave him and everything else, just different things. But now I was like, well, maybe he's maybe he throws some Christmas lights up and he's doing a show.
Dress up with the kids. I mean, seriously.
They do have an entire parade. There's one day of the year where the guys' husbands, everybody dresses up in drag. They all dress as women. What is that? There's like one day a year that they
don't do it here, so I wouldn't know.
Is it only over there in Zamboanga area?
Yeah, it's only in that area. Yeah.
Huh, so maybe that's
they don't
what
do
is.
it here. I wouldn't know.
Well, maybe he was doing cabaret and some other things and was just running an entire show over there.
Yeah.
Hey, gotta make your money.
Kellen says the fact he was scared and becoming more paranoid, and his Filipino family did nothing to address his concerns, speaks volumes to me. They could have gotten him away, knowing threats have been made.
I'm trying to figure why his last live stream, literally, she said she wouldn't sleep with him. Okay. So I get it. I mean, picture this scenario like when we weren't running the AC in the daytime, which we do now. And I would tell George, get off of me. It's too hot and sticky. Don't even get near me in the bed. Just don't touch me. And it's like, don't touch me. I get that scenario. I get why you wouldn't. Or if they weren't married and they were getting ready in another month to get married, and he would sleep in the other room. But the fact that night was the only live stream I seen where she stated that, no, I'm not sleeping with you tonight. And that's not what she meant. She took the pillow from him, and then a few minutes later he goes, are you going to sleep here tonight? And she said, no, I can't. And I'm like, oh my God. So just take that, go watch it yourself. It's in there. And it's like, I'm like, oh my God. Oh my gosh. That's just scary. Think about it. There were people that said, how'd they know where to go in and find him and blah, blah. I'm like, oh my God, there's just. I've said too much.
Learning
I've
to
said
live
too
says
much,
she's adorable. She's talking about Mary.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. Robert
Oh, you mean
says,
the dog.
yeah, the dog. Yeah. Robert says, lol, I meant free cigs. He
Oh.
gave free candy to kids and free cigs to
Oh,
his neighbors.
Yeah, he did the coffee
yeah.
too. I was like, he's giving away pigs too. I believe that, but the kids were always coming in asking for coffee too. So there was some strange scenarios going on. Like at some point during the last month or two, like he would eat things in the sorry store and make noodles and this and that, and then she'd come around and he'd say, "Well, I'll go ahead and pay for this too," or go ahead. And I'm like, I'd be in there closing down shop. George, I would close down shop. Okay. And I would be sitting up in that sorry store like Jesus's Last Supper. I'd be sitting right up on that counter when he talking about, oh, I'll get you something. No, I'd be up like this in there eating the chips and eating up the noodles. And there was like, anyways, so what's wrong?
Nothing. I just
that was somebody different though, right?
No. That's yeah.
So
Kevin D said she looks very young in that video, and wedding ceremony was not taken seriously. Cindy G says, I agree with Kevin, too young.
Well, he said he came back for her graduation in July. That was in 2 newspapers. Then there was her 18th birthday in September, and on her own multi-Facebooks, it showed exactly when she entered high school. So she did just turn 18 in September, according to her own stuff, according to the papers, and her age.
Well, according to their religion, that is legal. However, whether or not it's accepted by the community, different story.
Well, I would expect it from the community. It's just not legal for him as an American. He's still an expat, and he's still not.
Okay, now, rules clarification. What Heidi's talking about is, as an American citizen, the U.S. laws follow you. Right. Even if you're in the Philippines, if the customs state that it's legal, if you're Muslim, depending on U.S. laws.
I'm sorry, he converted, but he was not practicing, and he wasn't. These guys are doing it just to get some pudinane and get to the skirt and all that, and unfortunately, that wasn't real. And so you can't say, "Oh my God, he's a true Muslim," and there he was. No, everything in his video showed that he's not a Muslim. You don't do all the things that he did.
Everything he did goes against Islam.
And so that's just a blatant fact. And, we know that it could be there's family watching or friends of his. And unfortunately, they're just harsh truths. And if anybody finds us offensive, that's because it's stuck to you, and it's just is what it is.
Talk to any imam. Actually owning a YouTube channel and trying to get monetized alone is against Islam. Anyway, Jennifer Wilson, TikTok is banned in Canada.
Hey.